Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and blasttheradio.com, this is The Lowell Green Show. The number to call and be heard around the world is 613-413-2217. Or email Lowell at blasttheradio.com. And now, here is Lowell Green.
John, the monarchy. What do you think? Worth preserving in Canada or not? The Queen, God bless her, 96. There's a great deal of affection for her, no question about that. She has served us very well. Not so much affection for the couple who will replace her, Prince Charles and Camilla, both of whom, by the way, will visit Canada next month. No doubt, in an effort to shore up support. Will it work? I don't know. What do you think? There's a movement afoot throughout Commonwealth countries to divest themselves of the monarchy as head of state. Barbados recently declared their independence of the monarchy, declared itself a republic. And the Bahamas will likely follow suit quite shortly. When Queen Elizabeth is gone, what do you think, folks? Should we continue with the monarchy? Is it worth it? What's your view here? Canadians, for the most part, are pretty well split on this. I think most Canadians, even new Canadians, as I say, have a great deal of affection for Queen Elizabeth, and why not? But what about when Charles and Camilla take over? What about then? What benefits do you see from keeping the Queen as head of state? What problems do you see it creating? Has the time come for Canada to shed itself the last vestiges of colonialism and become a republic? If a vote were held tomorrow, how would you cast your ballot? In favor of the monarchy or time to move on? And by the way, how does President Trudeau grab you? Please keep in mind that even if we do become a republic, we can still be members of the Commonwealth. Barbados has done that. It is now a republic. They have a president, but they are still members of the Commonwealth. So that would not change. But what's your feeling about the monarchy itself? Has the time come to move on? Should we become a republic? What's your view here? John, very quickly, how do people get through to me?
Yeah, this should be an interesting conversation. Looking forward to it. All right. On Facebook, wherever you would ordinarily post a comment, you post your comment there. Same thing with YouTube. We are live on YouTube and on twitch.tv/blasttheradio and on Twitter. You can also text the show or call the show. Imagine that. A call-in show that takes your calls. 613-413-2217. You look astonished that we would take calls, Lowell.
And on a different topic, latest polls indicate, I find this hard to believe, but there are two polls out now that indicate the Liberals are almost neck and neck with the Progressive Conservatives in Ontario. It is astonishing to me, but apparently it is so, that Ontarians are prepared to return to power a government headed by one of the chief architects of the Elizabeth Wynne regime that essentially bankrupted this province. I mean, DeLuca was a senior member of Kathleen Wynne's cabinet. But apparently, Ontarians, or many of them, are in love with this guy and are prepared to return the Liberals to power. I guess a couple of years of Conservatives, it's about all Ontarians can take. It's quite astonishing. The polls indicate the Conservatives are still in the lead, but just barely. I'm not sure what the Liberals have done to justify the tremendous response. But you may have some thoughts on that. John, what are people having to say?
All right, let's go to the comments that are rolling in thus far. I'm just collecting a couple of others. So far, Anthony says Charles should never be king because he's been divorced. Gregory says the monarchy has been a boon for tourism in England. All those castles are paying museums, and ceremonies are huge tourism and could be
No,
here
but
as
let's
well.
say, once again, please, could you just answer my question? I mean, all of these comments are fine, but what I'm trying to find out here is what the sentiment in this province is, in this area is concerning the monarchy. That's what I'm looking at, not what they've done there, but what about it? When the Queen is gone, she's 96, served the country very, very well, extremely well. A lot of affection, but I don't believe there's this kind of affection for Charles and Camilla. So when the Queen is gone, do we still maintain the monarchy as head of state, or do we become a republic? Please, if you would respond to that question. Thank you, John.
Can I ask a question about that? Because you know
Sure,
more about this
fire.
stuff than I do.
Sure.
Okay, so we become a republic. Our head of state right now is the governor general,
That's
essentially
right.
the queen.
That's
So, as
that's
a
right.
republic, who is our head of state then?
The head of state is the president.
Okay.
What would happen? What happened in Barbados is that they declared themselves a republic. They voted, and they voted to rid themselves of the monarchy. But the last act of the monarchy, of the Queen, was to appoint a president for Barbados. And
Okay.
that presumably is what would happen here. We vote to become a republic, and whoever is prime minister, or perhaps there's another election, and the whoever is elected, the Queen then appoints that person as president, and then we are officially a republic, and the Queen ceases to be head of state.
All right.
Good question, Hope.
Yeah,
No question
I
about
just
it.
wasn't clear on how that works. I understand certainly how our political system is structured, but I'm not
Yep.
quite sure the difference on republic versus. So we're still associated, but we're not part of the monarchy then.
Well, that's right. We would still be, or could be. It would be up to us. Still be a member of the Commonwealth,
Okay.
which Barbados has chosen to become a member of. Still remain as a member of the Commonwealth, and I have pretty intimate knowledge of the politics in the Bahamas. I believe they're very close to declaring themselves a republic, and they as well will choose to remain a member of the Commonwealth, at least for now.
And Jamaica's pursuing something similar too, are they not?
Could very well be.
Yeah.
Could very well be. Yeah, there's
Uh,
certainly a movement afoot. I think that people are looking at the Queen and saying she's served us well. Maybe it's time to move on. I'd really like to know how people around here feel about that. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's a token to me. That's my opinion, my 2 cents worth. All right, let's go to text 613-413-2217. Lowell, I don't think we need the monarchy. The prime minister picks who is the governor general, and the governor general does what the PM wants. Let's just become a republic. Peter says, happy birthday to our queen. Keep the royal family in place. Let's stop ripping away our damn history. Sick of all these nonsense that the Republicans want. Even many Americans wish they had a royal family, and I don't mean Obama and crew. Lisa says the monarchy should bypass Chuckles and go right to William. Let's go to another text here.
No. Let's deal with what's going to happen. Okay. Once again, I ask if you could respond to my question. When the Queen is gone, she's 96. Then Prince Charles will become the king, and Camilla will become the consort. I think she become the Duchess of Cornwall. But that's the way it is. So wish away you want. But what I'm asking is, do you support, when the Queen is gone, should we remain a monarchy or not? It's a fairly important question, and I would really like you to respond to that. Thank you. Go ahead, John.
Not getting a lot of direct questions, but that will happen once people catch up to the stream. Anthony says, how long then would the term of the president be, Lowell?
Depending upon our Constitution, I would imagine that it would be much the same as the United States, probably a 4-year term. But once again, we would have to. One of the problems that I see is that we would have to change the Constitution. Obviously, would have to be changed. It's not perhaps a big job, but and we would have to decide exactly how this is going to work. I mean, the United States is a very complicated system with midterm elections and
Right.
so forth. So we could choose any system that we wanted. Go ahead.
Pierre says, let's be a republic, but stay with the Commonwealth. Carl says Charles would pass the crown on to Charles should pass the crown on to Prince William in order to maintain some level of popularity.
No, forget it. Okay, come on, deal with the facts. Whatever you'd like to see happen, I'd like, I'd like to find a mountain of gold out in the backyard, but it ain't going to happen. So let's deal with what's going to happen, please. When the Queen is gone, Camilla and Charles will be the new royal couple. Will you then support the monarchy? Go ahead, John, please.
Yep. No, I get it. That's the reality.
It's hard for people to, they got these little thoughts here. Well, they should do this and do that. Let's deal with reality. Okay?
There you go.
This is Sanity Island, folks. We deal with reality on Sanity Island. Go ahead.
David says, I would choose the Barbados model. Back to text again. The number here is 613-413-2217. Our friend Barry chimes in to say, I don't know why we need lieutenant governors in Los Angeles other than they are all political appointments and the monarchy has no place in our government because of the excuse of political appointments. Los Angeles. Anyway, this is interesting, says Chrissy with the Queen. Glad to hear what you have to say. Lowell was never into the royal family, but now paying a little bit more attention.
Yeah, I think it's time we did, because this is going to become an issue. There's no question about it. As I say, Barbados has declared itself a republic. The Bahamas very shortly will follow suit. And the question is cropping up. There is no question when the Queen is gone, this question is going to become front and center in this country. One of my concerns is, do we really need another constitutional debate at this time in our history? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I'd love to hear from what you say there. Go ahead, John.
The minute you said that, I just thought, oh, won't that be a fun conversation, especially with Quebec?
Well, yes, there's the complication there.
Right.
Now, mind you, Quebec will not be sorry to see the Queen gone. There's no question about that. But yeah, but one of the advantages maybe of a constitutional debate, maybe it will wake up a few more people and start to pay attention to this country. I think there's far too many people who simply have no idea how this country is run. Go ahead, John, please.
Some of the language you guys are using, they really don't like Charles, suffice to say. All right, Anthony says, how long, we asked the question, how long would the term be? If it's going to be President Trudeau, then I would rather William and Kate, not dealing in reality. Carl says, Charles should, chucking the monarchy, pun intended, will change our whole governmental system, will likely be a republic, anything to get rid of Trudeau and the Liberals. Eileen says no for the monarchy. And for those stupid Ontarians voting back in a Liberal government, shake your freaking heads.
Yeah, I find it amazing, particularly this guy DeLuca. I mean, he was a senior cabinet minister, but totally ineffectual. And as far as I can see, he's been totally ineffectual as leader of this tiny little Liberal party. But the people in Ontario are so much in love with Liberals. It doesn't matter what they do. I've often said, that Liberals could run an iguana and probably win in many ridings. Go ahead, John.
Lowell, I don't think we need the monarchy. The prime minister become a republic and stay with the Commonwealth. Is this what this person is texting me at 613-413-2217? I read their previous text earlier. I really thought these new glasses would work out, Lowell. They were for a day or so. Barbara says, I never want to hear President Trudeau, so stay with the monarchy. Darlene says, I personally like the monarchy, but if leaving them would allow us to revamp our political system, maybe it would be a good thing. There's a direct answer to your question, finally.
Good.
Peter says, the polling company in Ontario is only asking Liberals. I'm voting the new Blue Party, period. Gregory says, if we become a republic, the post of Governor General could
Hold on just a minute.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
The new Blue Party? What the hell is this? This is another way to destroy the Conservatives. I don't understand people who want to get rid of the Liberals or want to get rid of whatever it is, but they take action that they know is not going to help it. I just sometimes you have to wonder where people's heads are. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, the vote splitting thing is weird.
Yeah, I just don't understand why people would do that. We saw what, about 5% of the population voted for this idiot Maxime Bernier, and there's about 8 or 9 ridings where if they had cast their ballots for a Conservative, the Conservatives probably would form the government. We want to get rid of Trudeau, but let's split the Conservative vote. Like, what the hell's the matter with people? Go ahead, John.
Okay, Frank says the only conservative alternative for grassroots conservatives is New Blue. The rest like power too much. A republic would be fine.
I mean,
Chuck's a disgrace.
This is
Yeah.
so stupid, you know.
That's
Come on, folks. I mean, come on. I mean, the last thing we need is another political party here. Go ahead.
Let's go to email. Lowell at blasttheradio.com. Lowell, keep the monarchy. The monarchy gives many countries, including Canada, a sense of stability, says Lisa.
Well, you know what? You know what? That there is some truth to that. Um, I know that in some ways it's divisive, but it does give us a continuity. There's no question about it. A sense of stability. Go ahead, John.
Let's see. Let's go to I'm saying a lot. Barbara, I never want to hear President Trudeau, she says. Darlene says, I personally like the monarchy, but if leaving, okay, here we are. Frank, the only conservative, okay. Jeff, keep the monarchy, but I shall be king. I'm better looking than Charles, says Jeff. Peter says, the polling company in Ontario only asking a little bit. Why are these repeating? Gregory says, if we become a republic, okay. Lisa says, I like having the monarchy. What? A lot of repeats here. I'm sorry. You mean Ford's license refund checks aren't gaining him any popularity? People love cashing the checks, though. Mike says, yes, time to move on after her death. Lynn's comment, oh, crap, not the Liberals again. We haven't recovered from Wynne yet. There you go. Those are the comments coming in so far. Just getting caught up here.
Well, we might, you know what, I'm not feeling all that great. We might sign off a little bit early, John. I thought we'd got a lot more opinion on the monarchy, but obviously it's not uppermost in most people's minds. So, well,
let's get a word in. Let's get a word in for Shields though before we go.
Yeah, let's get a word in for Shields. And once again, folks, I know that these days in particular, money in many cases is getting a little bit scarce. If you want to save some money, you want quality, you want good service, you really can't beat Shields. They're up there in Pakenham, a huge warehouse, every kind of a brand of my goodness, I'm not functioning very well today.
You and
furniture and appliances. They're there, folks. And and once again, I say, listen, compare the prices. You will find they're very, very competitive with the big box stores. And one of the nice things, they're local, family operated. If you really care about shopping local, you can't do better than Shields. Folks, I'm sorry we're not getting much response to the program, so we'll sign off a little bit early. I'll take a rest this weekend. Sorry, John, but I'm just not feeling up to par today.
No, listen, you weren't feeling well coming onto the show today. I'm amazed you made it this far.
And apparently my listeners aren't that interested today, so what the hell? Let's move on. Hopefully be back on Monday. Thank you all.
The Lowell Green Show is seen and heard live around the world at 2 p.m. Eastern. Connect with us online at blasttheradio.com/Lowell Green. Can't join us live? Download the Lowell Green podcast. Available on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Ask your smart speaker to play the Lowell Green podcast. This is a production of blasttheradio.com.